So I want to reflect a little on something that's been an important initiative we've done over the last year, and actually now we're in our second year, which is Capitol Conversations. So one of our biggest challenges at the state capitol is hearing from enough Oklahomans about the challenges they face and about the improvements they want to see in our state. We don't have a public testimony process. Most states have a way that people can give testimony about their concerns, about what budget items they think are most important, about bills and their either personal experience or their expertise. Our state capitol doesn't do that. That's a choice being made by the Republican leadership to not have those voices here. So one thing that we've done as a Democratic caucus is make the commitment to listen to people in a public forum. There's something special about being in the state capitol, speak on a microphone in a formal setting, and making those connections with other people in the room. So we worked with the House Democrats and our members to offer the Capitol Conversations this spring again. And the focus was on the public, so public voices. We did give updates, but really we heard incredible stories that give us a great sense of the breadth of need in our state, how many things we need to be working on to make this state the best it can be and let more people thrive. A couple of examples. One of the most compelling visits this year was some young boys, so they're like maybe second and fourth grade, and they gave testimony specifically asking for more adults in their school building to understand them and try to help them. Several of them have issues that lead to behavioral challenges, and they feel like they get misunderstood and sent home, and they really want to have more support. And I think it shows those challenges we have for our public schools, where we don't have enough educators in our classrooms, we don't have enough teaching assistants, and so if a kid has challenges, are they getting the help they need to intervene? Their personal testimony was really compelling to hear, and the whole room was quiet as they got started because of the respect for these young boys standing before us and giving their testimony. Totally different end of the spectrum. I met a man who is 58. He was convicted of murder at the age of 17. He never has wavered on admitting his guilt. He has just been released. This is back in the day before we had youthful offenders, and he, among many, came to advocate about our parole system and their concerns that our parole system does not actually allow people to earn the right to parole. He is out now. He spent 40 years working in the jail, getting no demerits, getting his education, leading their workshop there, and he was almost penniless trying to get a job. He'd been out for about 2 months after spending his entire adulthood. The family members who came to speak were not trying to say that their folks did not convict those crimes and deserve some punishment, but they were asking, shouldn't we have a process that recognizes when people change, if they've been rehabilitating, how long it's been and how different a person they are than when they were 16 or 17. It really made me want to learn more about the way our parole system's working and if it's effective for what we need for our state. And then we met with folks virtually and had more people attend that time who have chronic medical conditions or are caregivers for folks with chronic medical conditions. And they were not in a position to come to the state capitol. And we know that can be a huge challenge for speaking up to your elected officials if you feel like you can't come to them. Big concerns around Medicaid cuts. Folks worried about especially the home and community-based waivers that allow people to stay out of institutions. It costs our state less to have someone stay with their family and give them the supports in their home rather than have them be separated from their community and family and be in an institution. Those cuts are mattering, and we heard directly from people who are dealing with that. I think that just gives you a sense of the types of stories we heard. It was everything from environmental issues to work issues to school issues, and that's what we need to know. We can't just control the voices that are in this capitol. We shouldn't just be listening to lobbyists. It's our job to hear from people, and those stories matter. So we're committed on an ongoing basis to work on these real problems that have been raised, and we hope to hear from more people across the state.